Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Ryan Date, aka Date Ryan Samo on Twitch and on Twitter. A member of the Hashira Podcast here on YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Hashira Podcast. And we are a group of guys that like talking that anime and nerd stuff. In this episode, we had some good guests with us. But before we get into that, I'd like for you to subscribe if you like what's going on here. Like, comment, and share so that we know that you guys are part of the conversation and try to get other people to be part of the conversation as well. Because what's better than talking all that nerd stuff with the bunch of more nerds. So we go find out what's going on in our different parts of things that we enjoy and stuff about, I guess, one of the coolest things ever, and that's anime and all that other stuff that comes along with it. So in this episode, we have Rob from Shonen Showdown and Animexsundays, and you can't have two One Piece guys without talking One Piece. We were supposed to do something completely different, but One Piece. So hope you enjoy what comes next.
I'd like to begin with a fact.
This is a message to everybody. I'm gonna look into the camera. This is a message for everybody that has not that's still like One Piece is mid and all this stuff. Listen, you do not want to be that guy or that girl that when the One Piece is revealed, you're getting spoiled on the internet and you didn't have a chance to watch it. You do not want to be that person. And I'm gonna tell you why. One Piece is a story that hits on almost every single topic you can think of. I mean, the topics of like, there's racism, there's world corruption, world government corruption, there's underworld stuff going on. There's like, it's a story that is like, the world building is so crazy that like you're invested. Like the moment you go through like the first arc, you're just invested. And I feel like the reveal for the One Piece is going to be like one of the greatest things in fiction, not even in anime, just in fiction, once we find out what the One Piece is. And you do not want to be that person that's getting spoiled, that you have not been along for the ride. So I would say, listen, we still got room left on the bandwagon. Hop on right now, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, 5 years from now or something, you do not want to be that guy. That's it.
Listen, and I told folks like how Rob said, like, I am not the One Piece convincer. Y'all don't have to watch the show. Matter of fact, don't watch it. Matter of fact, yeah. More for us, really.
Well, we said more for us.
That's you, but like 99.99999% of the One Piece community, they be trying to force people to watch
honestly,
that joint, man. You might be the one guy that don't.
Honestly, he's the first person I met that.
Here's the thing: the One Piece community that's like super toxic and like wants everybody to watch it. Those are like the One Piece people who like binged it in like a month. They're usually younger cats, sometimes older cats, but they haven't been there and like really rode the One Piece like ride and really like have embraced like being a part of the One Piece like family. Whereas like where every episode comes out, it's just like having Sunday dinner. You feel me? Or like, you know, going to your normal eatery, you know, after your job. You feel me? Like everyone that's trying to like convince it, they just got hit with so much of like at once. They're like, oh my God, I can't even compute. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? They're like young One Piece watchers. One Piece watchers who have been watching the show since 2015, i.e. myself, you know, 20, actually way more than that. I've been watching One Piece since like 2010. But like,
same.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you've been watching it for that long, you just like, look, bro, like, I don't care if you watch the show because I've already just like, it doesn't seem like it's going to end. Like, it doesn't seem like.
Wait, say that one more time too.
I mean, it don't seem like it's going to end, but I say that as a good thing. I say that as a good thing because for me, if One Piece had ended 5 years ago, like I'd be like, oh man, that was such a great time. But for me, it seems like those times and when I first started watching anime are like those real genuine moments. I still get those feelings because One Piece still comes out every week.
Gotcha.
You feel me? Mm-hmm. Like I still get to feel like I'm a part of that old, you know, generation of cats that was watching One Piece when it was just getting to the war and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, like we're here. Everybody else, listen, I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm going this way. You know what I'm saying?
So how do y'all think One Piece will end? Like, what do you like? If you can end it, I guess, how would you end it?
Nice. I like that question. That's good.
I mean, I don't have an answer, bro, because there's really not much in One Piece I could think of. I could never think of anything in One Piece that happens anyway. Like, there's a lot I almost can rarely predict in terms of what happens plot-wise. All I imagine is that the One Piece is something that has to do with the missing history, something that gives that has like a deep background, something that's like even has more story that just complements all of the stuff that we just watched. And probably in the end somehow we get a time skip and Luffy dies. That's pretty much that's the only way I can imagine it.
Why Luffy gotta die though?
Because everybody Pirate King dies for real. Roger dies, you feel me? I don't see him surviving. You know what I'm saying? He's already given up half his life force in the season. So we know that time is very short, like, you feel me? Technically. And the way that Roger went out, I only imagine his death being inevitable. You feel me? But in terms of what the One Piece is, yeah, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. I just only think along those lines that it might be related to all this other information we had questions about, and it's like, oh wow, it all connects. That's all I can imagine. It's just like a centerpiece.
That was a satisfying answer.
Yeah. I mean, that was beautifully stated.
Yeah,
like, Oda, no matter what we think it is, it's not going to be that. You know, that's how great of a writer Oda is. Like, for real. Like, I couldn't have called. There's a specific character in the series that gets revealed not maybe like 2 years ago in the anime now. That sits above like one of like the top, sits above even all like the world government, and I could have never called that watching the series for as many years as I have been watching. So like once I saw that, I said anything's possible. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? There could be aliens in the next episode, and I'll just roll with it. Like I just don't know. I really don't know.
Right.
Okay.
I have a theory that Oda reads a lot of the things that people tweet.
There you go.
And their theories.
I mean, but
and I feel like he does write not that he writes around it, but I feel like to like fool people, he'll like whatever's popular, and he'll just like I'm gonna do the opposite of that to like trick everybody.
You're right.
I feel like that's what he be doing.
Well, I mean, he had the ending from a long time ago. Oda had the ending for One Piece way earlier. He was supposed to end it I think almost like after Alabasta, but he just kept coming up with more stuff. So he already had his ending, and he said that it hasn't changed. So that's why I'm just like, honestly, Oda's probably just been like zenned out, like, nope, like y'all keep guessing, but
one of the editors knows the ending of One Piece. There's only one other editor that knows, and this editor was going around and watching a lot of like fan theories, because there's a whole bunch of theories on like the ending of One Piece.
Of course
there's like millions out there.
It's a big fandom.
And the editor stated that like nobody got it. Now this is a couple of years ago, so like I've even heard some theories that seem like, yo, this has to be the answer. But
like, nope.
Knowing Oda, listen, like it's probably not.
Yeah.
It's probably not.
So I want to I do want to say this. So when we talk about like writing as a whole, and I say this often when we're on the Hashira podcast talking live and stuff like that, I'm gonna say this again for the people in the back. So obviously good writing is something that makes you want to be invested in what's coming next, and a big way to do that is by leaving things open for interpretation, so that when you drop whatever is actually supposed to happen, it catches everybody by surprise. So now again, I alluded to this earlier in our conversation. Rob said when things drop, they hit, and whenever they hit, that's why he gives it a pass for the bad pacing. Now, if it's doing that, there's nothing wrong with that as a whole. I think that writing like that does make sense. And then again, it gets kind of like put back to the forefront because Jared just brought up the fact that he's had the ending forever. He's just kind of filling in gaps now. And the thing is, because he leaves so many gaps in the pacing, it's to be like, listen, I could just come back with this information at this point in time, or this information at this point in time, and it's going to be great. Which brings me to the question I want to ask you guys. So this is my question, and even you guys in the chat, because One Piece has been out for such a long time, right? Do you feel like, obviously, well, I want to say this. Shout outs to Oda and whoever does the anime for fixing some of the pacing issues that we've had, because those have obviously been improved. We have to say that. That's obvious, right?
Right.
So then the question I have to you guys is, do you feel that the impact of new anime and how it's being written has had, I mean, what is the effect it's had on One Piece, and do you feel like that's something we're going to see going forward, or you feel like Oda might go back to what he was doing before? That's what I'm saying. So the way the pacing is and the way that the arcs have been going are definitely different. Definitely different. You can see the difference.
I would say yeah.
Who's going first?
Oh.
Me? Rob?
Well, yeah, Rob here I say yeah. So go ahead, Rob.
Yeah. No, I would say yeah, 100%. Seasonal anime probably around I want to say like 2016, 2017 got super popular. Popular. That made all of the long-running shonen, all the long-running anime have to adapt. They had to adapt to the new game because listen, everybody is just everyone wants like super fast pacing, high quality animation nonstop. And then, One Piece is a series that's been going on week to week for years. And it's a different show. Listen, the world building is crazy. So it takes a lot of time to build up, even if they're going to a new arc or, they have to build up the arc. They have to build up the villain, the story, the background, everything, different music. So, there's an appreciation you have for that if you've been watching for like a very long time. But I mean, if your first anime is, Demon Slayer or My Hero, and then you watch One Piece, you're going to be mad. You know what I'm saying? And I understand it because you're getting accustomed to seasonal type of anime, but that's not the only form of anime that there is out there. So I think Toei definitely realized this because I don't even blame Oda for this. I blame Toei. Toei knows how great One Piece is of the story. They know how great it is, and they purposely try to slow it down a little bit because they want to ride this thing to the end of time. Like they're like, listen, once One Piece is gone, like they're trying to pretty much right now, they're trying to find like which show is going to be that next One Piece, and nobody's living up to it right now. So they've been slowing down One Piece for so long because they're trying to buy themselves time so they can find the next guy to pull up and put some numbers up like how One Piece does. And I don't blame Oda for that. So that's why like the pacing is like, all right, that's one thing, but yeah, like they definitely recognize this, and that's why in Wano we're seeing some of like the greatest animation like in One Piece like ever, because they realize that Demon Slayer is going crazy. Animation had a big part in that. You know what I'm saying? Jujutsu Kaisen is another one. Animation played a big part in the hype. So they realized that and said, listen, we gotta make sure Wano looks beautiful, and Wano looks gorgeous. I love how Wano's looking. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, just like bro said, the new gen, the new style of anime, whatever you want to call it, I mean, it definitely is. They try to keep you, I guess what you could say, like, on your toes, like, as much as possible. They want to try to keep you, like, super engaged in watching the show, even if it's, like, a conversation episode or a flashback episode. These new gen animes, they try to, have all these different elements in those, like, I guess, slower episodes to make you even feel like they're not slow. You feel me? So, yeah, of course, when you watch One Piece slow episodes, you're like, oh, my God, at least when the Demon Slayer flashback was going on, somebody was swinging something or somebody died. You feel me? So, yes, there's more, like, reason now to look at old animes and be like, oh, man, like, nobody has time for all that, like the way this new stuff is coming. But at the end of the day, though, I be feeling like that still is a facade. Like to me, these new gen are still like, they still have certain arcs or episodes where you're just like, this pacing really isn't that great either. Y'all are just trying to make it real shiny and sparkly so I don't notice that nothing's going on.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
But like in One Piece, I know nothing's going on for real, but I know even though nothing's really going on, there's still something underlying here. There's always, like, if you're paying attention, even the filler, even the pace, the arc, where it's like, okay, why they keep going back and forth? You're still some stuff there that is like, okay, dang, I could still be paying attention to this, and it may come back out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh, that's why they was taking so long doing that. You feel me? Now, yeah, there's some parts, obviously, in One Piece. But and for me, specifically, that, like, in the newer arcs, I feel like the pacing is, I feel like the newer arcs in the pacing was what kind of I started to notice. Like, before, even when people were like, oh, the pacing is slow, even before the time skip, I never knew that. Like, that never was something that jumped out to me, and I was like, oh, this pacing. Huh. No, that was like that's not what happened. You know what I mean, it wasn't until like they started getting to the Big Mom arc and stuff really started hitting the fan. That's when like people. That's when stuff was like, okay, now they're trying. You could see, like Rob said, Toei is trying to pull back on the reins. You feel me? And keep it as milked as long as possible. Yeah. So for me, really, I only started noticing it until Wano. And like,
Jared, can I pause you right there? Can I pause you right there for a second? Can I do that?
Yeah.
I want everybody in the chat, and when I post this back up on YouTube and post it wherever I post it, to just remember what Rob and Jared both said at the same time. I want you guys to remember that. So, animation companies have the unfortunate right to mess with material, right? We were talking about this on the Boruto episode, where Boruto was coming out with episodes, even though the manga came out. Like, there were bigger gaps in the manga for Boruto, right? So they had to make a bunch of material that was just whatever they wanted to, pretty much, in between what the actual material was. Now, the reason that's important is because, oh my God, if when I was watching goddamn Hot Cake Island, if I heard her say wedding cake one more time, I would have kicked everybody who said One Piece in the face whenever I saw them. I just want to let you know that right now. There's no way on God's green earth that if she said wedding cake one more time, one more time, bro. Oh, thanks for the follows. Appreciate you. There's no way. I'm just like, it was stressing me out. And like you were saying, and like Rob was saying, they were stretching it out, obviously, because they don't know who else is going to be able to make them this much money. And because that's indeed the case, they have to stretch it out, which kind of sucks, because I feel like it starts to mess with what's going on there. Because Oda is starting to make the pacing better, and then all of a sudden, they start to make the pacing worse by trying to stretch out kind of their cash grab. And I kind of felt like that was terrible for One Piece at the time. Shout out to everybody who followed, whoever came in with Rob and everybody. There's a bunch of people who just followed. Shout outs to y'all. If I start naming y'all, I'm gonna start like reading stuff incorrectly. So don't charge to my head, not my heart. We appreciate the follows for real. But I just wanted to make sure I said that out loud because that's a big thing. The fight between Luffy and my boy Katakuri did not have to take that long. Let's be real. That was long.
Absolutely.
That was long.
Absolutely.
It was really long.
No,
a lot of like it did the Dragon Ball Z to us. It did the recycled animation for the fight, and that's something I hadn't seen in a long time in anime. I was like, if I see Katakuri jump up and do the same attack another 3 times in this fight, it's gonna be weird.
I agree, and that's when I started really noticing it too. Like when it got to these like arcs that really started getting to about like close to the manga, and everything was really getting hyped, and they made all this money. I was like, oh yeah, like now I can see where there's some trouble here. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Do you think there will be an OP character Devil Fruit in the final war? Obviously, I think there has to be something that's ridiculous, but we always see some new kind of weirdly creative Devil Fruit abilities as things like progress and we get more stuff based off of OP. I know you said OP. I kind of figured that out.
Oh yeah, I was so
Mo, real quick,
what does
just
that mean?
before I forget what I'm gonna say.
My bad. Go
Rob,
ahead.
I don't know if you heard this, but it's speculation going around saying that Vegapunk is gonna get introduced, and when he gets introduced, I believe that's where we're gonna get the full background of Devil Fruits, like where they came from. Because like he's making the false ones. We're gonna get the full background of Devil Fruits, where they came from, how they was developed.
Hey, is that manga stuff? Don't be talking manga stuff here. I'm just...
Huh? That's not manga stuff.
I'm messing with him. I have to mess with him because you do this sometimes, and we anime only. Do I think the Yonko equal the Admirals? That is an interesting question.
Man, me and Rob had this whole thing set up for Anime New York to do this debate.
Yeah,
so we're gonna leave it for that.
Do a debate on this.
Well, we didn't get the panel, but we're gonna make a video about it though.
Okay, all right. Well, do you mind going into that real quick since the question was asked?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, if you want my one word answer, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I didn't know why there was like so much controversy. Like with the Admirals are just as strong as the Yonko. I was like, wait, didn't they say though that the Yonko are the most like feared, most dangerous people in the world? Like that the Admirals may be the highest in the Marines, but that the Yonko are like literally running this like SHIT. Like that's what I thought. So when people go always like, no, bro, Kano, he could take Kaido. I'm like, what show did you watch? Because I thought Kaido was the strongest creature. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought he could try to kill himself a million times. Like I don't know. But in terms of like actually debating it, like there's some things you could say, but that's my answer.
Okay, Rob.
I mean, I think the very existence of Whitebeard debunks that whole.
Yep,
premise.
thank you. Say it again for the people in the back. Say it one more time.
Yeah,
for the people in
the
back.
fact that Whitebeard
Right.
was a character in the story, just that ends that whole debate right there. I know a lot of people, but a lot of people they watch Marineford and they see that Akainu was putting in work on Whitebeard. Whitebeard couldn't even, but you have to remember Whitebeard was old. Whitebeard was sick. There was a lot going on, like, you know what I'm saying? He was fighting thousands upon thousands of people.
Already
at
injured
once.
at that point. Already injured.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot going on, and he engaged with 3 admirals at some point. Like, it's like you could say that Akainu but Akainu didn't even finish him off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Blackbeard and his crew had to come through and do whatever. So it's kind of like I don't see that. I don't see that being a thing. I do think the Yonko are stronger. And that also has to tie into there's a point in the series. Actually, how far are you? I don't want to say.
I'm caught up.
Oh, you're caught up. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So when Kizaru was saying, you know, send me to Wano, you know, Big Mom is there, Kaido was there. Let me see what I could do. Everyone took that and meant to say like, Kizaru was saying he could beat Big Mom and Kaido. Like, nah, that's not. We know that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I mean, Whitebeard's very existence just debunks that whole thing for me. Like,
Yeah, and then Rayleigh too.
Yeah,
Rayleigh
really.
too.
Yeah,
Rayleigh
exactly.
wasn't even technically a Yonko, but like Roger was a Yonko once upon a time before he was king, and yet Rayleigh was also like, I mean, he had different admirals he had to face, but old Rayleigh was fading Kizaru. So I'm like, come on, like, what do we like? If you look at that, if you look at Roger being a Yonko when he wasn't king, and Rayleigh old is hanging with admirals casually.
Casually.
I'm just
I mean, the big thing to me though is I always remember this to like a point where like it's like, and I feel like it's one of the things people talk about all the time. It's a very popular moment, and it sounds like a very pop central moment, but it's real. Shanks walked down to Marineford and said, "This joint ends today." If Admirals really felt like they could do something about the situation, it would have kept going.
Right.
But my man Shanks said, "This ends now." And it ended. Not only that, my man Kizaru saw Ben Beckman and put his hands up.
Yeah,
Put his hands up.
was
And Ben
hilarious.
Beckman isn't the captain. He's not the captain. He saw Ben Beckman and said, "Whoops, Ben no Beckman," right? You know, like that's what happened. My man put his hands up. So if the admirals were on equal footing, that would not be the case. 100% not be the case.
Mind you, Shanks challenged the Marines
Yep.
and Blackbeard.
Yes.
After he just got Whitebeard's devil fruit, still said, "I'm ready for anybody. Who else wants to fight?" So this is 2 separate factions. And you remember Blackbeard was trying to destroy Marineford.
Yeah.
Like Sengoku was there and all that. They were fighting. So they weren't even on the same page. Shanks challenged everybody.
Yep.
So
Right.
that's another thing we gotta.
And
Yeah.
that's why I just to answer that question, there's no way they're equal or on equal footing in the world of One Piece when we see that Yonkos can do that, and the people in their crew get so much respect that they got to put their hands up and back down. You know what I'm saying? And again, like Rob was saying, he didn't just challenge the Marines. That means in his mind he knew that I'ma smoke y'all and him, regardless of what he got. All of y'all get the hands because I'm that good. You feel me? So I have to say that definitely I don't think the Admirals got it like that.
Right. And Mihawk was like, "Listen, I didn't agree to fight Shanks. I said I'll fight Whitebeard, but when Shanks is here, listen, that's not part of the program. I'm leaving." So it's like,
and I'm a big Mihawk fan, right? I'm a big Mihawk fan. So Mihawk is the same dude that's like, "Bro, I can't spar with you, Shanks, because you got one arm, so I'm gonna smoke you." Think about that. He said that to my man Shanks when they were drinking, and even he was like, "Wait, Shanks actually wants to fight today?" Yeah, no, not me. Like, what? Like, hold on a second. You got to think about that. My man said, "Yo, we can't spar anymore because I'm gonna beat you behind. But you came to fight for real? No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna take a seat. I'm gonna take a seat. Have your way, bro. Have your way. Like, what are we talking about? There's no way. There's no way.
yeah.
And I think even in like the little things, like the little like shows of power that we see in the show, it just reminds you of the difference in levels that we see. While some of the abilities of the admirals are kind of really cool, like Kizaru's whole light situation is kind of really fantastic. Actually, I like Kizaru a lot. Like his ability to me is it has a lot of space for open-ended like abilities, and I think it's dope. But like when you see those things happening, and you see like Jared said earlier, you just see my man Riley like, "Hi, bro, how you doing? I'm gonna put my foot up too." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm good with this. I can casually chill with you. Then it's like there's no way I can believe that's the thing. Yonko rankings.
That's always tough though.
That's a tough one. That's a toughie.
That's tough. We could definitely do it though.
You want all right? All right. I'm passing it again.
I mean, Whitebeard's number one.
Yes.
Yeah, word.
Whitebeard's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, I think me and Rob differ on a couple things. I always say Whitebeard's number one. Even old Whitebeard, I still think it's number one. Honestly,
yes.
I still think old Whitebeard's number one. I do think Kaido's at number two. That's me. I just think that he's always been like, you know, everybody says it. Like everybody's like the one motherfucker left besides Whitebeard who you don't want to mess with is Kaido. Like he's the one guy left where you're like, all right, Jesus, this guy's still around. Now these last three, people don't agree with me. I'm just gonna tell them right now. People don't agree with me. I think, and I only think this because I haven't seen we still like haven't seen Shanks really go. You know, I have to be like, to me, you have to prove it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like realistically, I think Big Mom is third. Like that's me. Like I really do. I think Big Mom, you know, has proven to me that I know, and me and Rob have this discussion all the time. I think Big Mom's third because Mom has like in terms of like the things where you're like, okay, maybe this will actually be a problem for her. This may actually be a serious like blow. We can kind of see where the weak points are. It don't be there. Like she had drowned. She has like, you know, been. They caught her slipping with the surprise thing. Still really couldn't do that much damage or kill her. I don't know if they got any blows off, but like it's just every time she is like in a battle that nobody catches the dub. Nobody catches the dub. She fought Kaido. They still ain't caught the dub with her. Luffy tried. He didn't catch the dub. You feel me? And if I seen Shanks like really box a Kano, if he was really like putting a Kano in the dirt, like, no, you're a scrub, I'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe Shanks has the hockey to really go up against Big Mom. But I don't think Blackbeard's stronger because Blackbeard's still fresh. He's still only Blackbeard. Like, you know what I'm saying? He has the Whitebeard power, but he's not Whitebeard. You know what I'm saying? He's still like at the point where you could say like, oh, maybe after Wano, Luffy's ready for him. You know what I'm saying? If Luffy kicks up, maybe he'll be ready. But do I see Blackbeard go to Big Mom like, Big Mom, it's your time? No, she's gonna be like, you're a scrub. Like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
time out, Jared.
That's me.
Okay. Listen, I'm okay with the Blackbeard thing for right now because we don't know what the hockey feats are looking like right now for Blackbeard. And I think we have to wait to see that because we've seen a lot more from Big Mom. Like you said, she was going up against Kaido and all this stuff, right? So we could talk about that. Now, you're disrespecting Shanks right now. That's just why I'm gonna call you out. Now I know everyone says, oh, yo, we haven't even seen as much from Shanks. But when you think about the stuff that Shanks was able to pull off in the series, right? This is somebody that went to Whitebeard's ship, knocked out all the scrubs, and then clashed weapons and split the sky. Big Mom, this is the same person that held the territory for Fishman Island. Big Mom wanted Fishman Island the entire show. She wanted Fishman Island. Couldn't get her hands on it. Why? Because Whitebeard's here. Stop that. Right? And I'm not saying, listen, and I'm not saying Big Mom's not powerful. Big Mom is top tier. I do think she's stronger than Blackbeard. But Shanks, I don't think Shanks is like as strong as Whitebeard. Shanks is in that conversation. I don't really think so, bro. I think that clash was more of like hey man, let's see if you really like at least the minimum power level to hang with me, bro. Because at the same time, what happened? I do the minimum power level to hang with. I'm just saying, like Whitebeard swung and Shanks was like, okay, bet this is a test.
You feel me? This wasn't a battle; it's a test. Big Mom could definitely clash with Whitebeard on a blower too. Let's not cap, bro. She annihilated the Giants of Elbaf, or not all of them, I think, but at 5 years old.
Yo, Jack, time out. I'm trying to save you right now. Hold on. Because if this was the case,
you don't think Whitebeard could clash with Big Mom? Come on, bro.
No. If this was the case, Big Mom would have challenged Whitebeard for Fisherman Island. If this was the case, I'm being serious.
But no, that's not the same to me because it's not like I said. I don't think Shanks is stronger than Whitebeard, and I don't think Big Mom is stronger than Whitebeard. I don't think Big Mom is stronger than Kaido, realistically. But I'm just more like I don't know how strong Shanks is. Big Mom was drowning in the ocean and came ashore and just survived. There was no like she got saved. There was no plot armor. She washed ashore and was alive. She just defied the laws of One Piece. Nobody cares about this.
But that's great.
She has a devil fruit.
Shanks was on Roger's ship. Shanks was on Roger's ship. Watch how Roger moved. Watch how Rayleigh moved. Like, this is not somebody that we can...
But also, Shanks was... We now know that Shanks didn't grow up as an adult on Roger's ship. They disbanded the Roger Pirates when he was still a child. So Shanks' training really came from himself. So to try to say
wait,
Roger
Shanks wasn't
sauced him up.
Shanks wasn't there when the Roger Pirates and the Whitebeard Pirates clash? He wasn't there for that?
He wasn't, but he wasn't in the middle like, oh, Whitebeard, watch out. Like, no.
No, but I'm saying that has an impact on your development as a fighter though. If you're hanging around these people of that magnitude, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, absolutely, but I would say to that point, why isn't Buggy almost like close to his strength? If at that point in time they were both seeing the same type of battle, I think Shanks got hard on his own.
Nah, I feel like Buggy is just like a big ass troll, and he's probably like really strong. Honestly, I honestly feel like he might be.
My point is that
one of the top guys.
I feel like Shanks got hard on his own. Like he did his own thing, got hard, and Roger helped him guide up a little bit. Whereas, like, yes, we can say, oh, he was going Roger's ship, he was wilding, but it's not like he was like Odin
going around doing his own thing.
Listen, Shanks is the only character that can lose his arm and his price tag goes up. Like, I don't know who does that. You know what I'm saying?
I think if it's a battle, if it's like an all-out battle between Big Mom and Shanks, and like I said, bro, it's only because you have to prove it to me. Until Shanks is really like bullying admirals and like bullying people who are like
Shanks bullied everybody. Wait, Shanks bullied everybody though, technically.
But no, there's a difference between like you walked up to Marineford before the war started and challenged cats, then Whitebeard's already here and it's already hitting the fan, and they're like, damn, now we got to deal with Shanks. All right, you know what? We already killed the fire guy.
There's a dude asking something in the chat as well. He asked twice, and he highlighted the second time, so I do not want to act like I don't see it. It says, I think Manga Luffy is greater than Akainu until we see Haki feats on Luffy's level. And I'm guessing he means if Akainu can use Haki the same way Luffy does. Again, this is an anime-only situation, so I can't go too far into what's going on in the manga. I can say that based off of a lot of the freaky main character Haki situation that we get from Luffy, I would definitely say that Akainu doesn't want the hands right now, especially if what happens in Wano the way that I think it's going to happen. I don't think Akainu wants that spot.
Right.
And that's that's what I believe, especially because we just had the conversation about Yonko's being stronger than Admirals. If things on Wano go the way that I think they're going to go, I don't think Akainu wants those hands.
I mean, but Akainu is the top dog of the Admirals, right?
He's
so don't
soft
you have to be
though.
Like, chill. Don't you have to like you the top of the police? You gotta be.
You got the
I'm
top
saying?
of the police?
I'm not saying he's like the strongest in the show, but my bad. Go ahead, Jared.
Oh no, my fault. I just think like even before, like when we got to Wano, and Rob, we disagree, of course. Literally, we were having a conversation like, where do we put the Admiral if they're not Yonko? And I often said they're like first command, like a little bit stronger than some of the first commanders. You feel me? That's what I often said. But I only said like a little bit stronger than some of them because I think some first commanders are stronger than others. Rob, you disagree on some points. But because Luffy, I could say is like pretty much a little bit stronger than first commander of Yonko level because he beat Katakuri. That's why even before we got to Wano, I said if Kano and Luffy fought now, it would be pretty much neck and neck. But I feel like Luffy, will have to rise up. You feel me? Now if people are telling me in Wano he's even crazier, then yeah, I agree. You feel me? I agree because I always thought that like the Admirals were just barely above first commanders, Marco, Sabo, Katakuri. You know what I'm saying? Even if you say King is the first commander, you know what I'm saying? That's where I put the Admirals. You feel me? And I'm sure in Wano, Luffy's already getting into that friction with some of these first commanders or whatever. We seeing more of them, right? Marcos and Wano. Then I would say Luffy's right there. He's probably right there, or if not a little bit stronger than most of the first commanders.
I'm gonna take that real quick. So chat real quick. Where do you think Luffy sits in the power level table based off of what's going on in One Piece? So when we're talking about first commanders, captains, admirals, Yonko, where do you think Luffy sits in the power scale? Put it in the chat. And I actually want Rob to answer that question specifically. Where does Luffy sit currently? Where do you think?
Are we talking end of Wano or like our predictions, or are we just saying like we can
do end of Wano predictions. We can do end of Wano predictions.
I mean,
we can do right now.
Well,
do both. F it. Do both. What the frick?
I mean, yeah. So Blackbeard aside, Luffy is at the top of the worst generation right now, and if he's able to take down Kaido, he's obviously automatic. Like that puts him right in like, I wouldn't say like top 10, like maybe like even top 7. The reason why I wouldn't say top 5 just yet is because like he's gonna need like a lot of like we see how many people are pulling up to box with Kaido, so we already know what's going on. Like Luffy obviously can't just do it by himself, but he's gonna be like the main guy that's fighting, right? Now in regards to Akainu, Akainu becoming the fleet admiral showed me something, right? Because not only was he able to take down Kuzan, right, with the whole Punk Hazard situation, they were fighting for like 10 days. But the way Kuzan looks now, the dude's missing limbs. Like it's not like a regular thing that he was doing with that. And when we look at somebody like Fujitora in Dressrosa, this is somebody that I think they're gonna end up clashing because we already seen there's tension between Fujitora and Akainu. Yeah. And Fujitora to me in Dressrosa was looking scary because this is him chilling. This is him chilling in Dressrosa. He was not going all out. And he had the rubble over the city ready to just drop it on it. Like that's not regular. And this is somebody that I think Akainu has to be at least around that, or if not stronger, because they're already clashing, they're already butting heads. So do I think Luffy is there? If he takes down Kaido, Luffy can do that. You know what I'm saying? Luffy can do that. Luffy can hold his own. Like I don't know who would necessarily win because we got to see more hockey feats from the Admirals. But if he does defeat Kaido, I would say Luffy's probably like, top 7.
Top 7 in the world of One Piece. That's a big achievement.
Even with the help, you're gonna put him at top 7.
If he defeats Kaido,
if he's the main one to do the final.
Yeah, if he's the main one to defeat Kaido, I do think
so. Him, really.
I honestly think that Big Mom is gonna come out of nowhere and kill Kaido.
You think she's?
That's my theory, man. I think that Big Mom is gonna come because
elaborate.
I feel like this will be her opportunity to establish her like somewhere towards the top of the food chain, the Yonko list. If she could get rid of him, because him and her have been clashing a lot recently, right?
Yeah.
So what is if I feel like if she lets like Luffy and them just like kill Kaido, then that's just gonna boost them up. And now it's like, oh shoot, she lost, I guess, like a friend, even though she gonna come and try to backstab him and kill him. I mean, I'm not up to date on anything. This is just like me, from what like I see online.
But I mean,
it might sound dumb to y'all, but I feel like that's what she's gonna do.
She's crazy. They got history, but she's crazy. And honestly, the way things work in the One Piece verse, I don't think that's too far fetched. When it's like, if me and Kaido fight, we clash and we end up stalemating. So, or I think he might be a little bit stronger than me. Let me let these little fools fight him. Exactly. Let me let this happen. And then I show up when I need to show up. And I take this, I take that. None of these dudes could beat me after they wasted all their power on Kaido. I got it from here on out. I could see something like that happening. I mean, the thing with One Piece is it's so open-ended. It's just like, this could happen. Or this could not happen. And if it does happen, it's still wild.
See the motive though with Big Mom killing Kaido. Because she's not gonna really get anything, like, because Kaido doesn't really care about finding the poneglyphs or anything like that. So it's not like Kaido is stopping Big Mom from doing anything other than, you know, taking over territory.
But that's the, but she's a territory hog. She hog. She like the territory.
Or she might want
You know what I'm
everything.
saying?
She's a territory. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
I
would be the
say-
history why that she kills him. Honestly, that would probably be her motive. That the history that they have with the past when it was on the I guess when it was on the rocks.
I wouldn't say it's like out of character. It's just it would again that would be even more just good writing you see from Oda because a situation where that happens, I just feel like I would not be prepared for it because like I would not be able to predict it because I just know that because they know each other for so long. Like,
Right, they have history.
I feel like
That's
Kaido's not asleep though. I feel like he's not like, oh yeah, I know I can't trust Big Mom because even before they started, and his subordinates were all like, oh, locked in on Big Mom. He was like, well, we gonna see, but if she tries something, I'm gonna kill her too. You feel me? Like Kaido's letting folks know, like, yeah, like I'm gonna lock in, but Lin really don't want no smoke. Like I'll really put her down as well. So that's why I was just like, I don't know if she's gonna be the one to come out of nowhere, blindside him. Like that's not. I feel like it's more like a Blackbeard thing. Instead of just come out of nowhere and catch you slipping. Like that's a specialty.
I just want to point out that Oda was saying that Shanks was supposed to make a move. So I'm gonna put that in the air. Do with that information.
We in October. Got a couple more months. Maybe January. He might strike.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
I mean, I do want to see. I want to see more of Shanks. And the whole situation with like them kind of like trying to abolish like the emperors and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm a big Mihawk fan, and so just aside from Shanks pulling up and seeing some stuff with Shanks, I want to see Mihawk do things because I love Mihawk. I'm gonna be real. I love Mihawk. To me, he's just dope. Like since my man was just smoking people with the little sword around the little knife on his neck, so whatever. I'm a big Mihawk fan, and I want to see what the best swordsman, quote unquote, in the world of One Piece can really do, and I want to see it. So I've been waiting for that. So the same way people been waiting for like Shanks to wild out, I'm waiting for my man Mihawk to really go for broke. Like I want to see what happens when he's got to go for it, and what that means for the person fighting him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want to see.
Me personally,
is it the Marine going after them?
Yeah.
After they abolish this shit?
Yeah, they going after him now. What was you about to say, Rob? Sorry.
no, I was gonna say me personally, the one that I want to see fight the most, honestly, is Dragon.
Okay. Yes. We
I wanna
had this
see
conversation in our personal chat one time. We were talking about like he's got to be about that life, right? He's got to be about that life, 100%. Yeah.
He has the highest bounty in One Piece. Like, we got to see what's going on.
Dang.
Yeah,
He's the world's most wanted man.
So I definitely want to see what's going on with that. 100%.
I want to know what makes him the most wanted man. Like
It's because his goal is to directly destroy the Marine Force. They're like, please stop this guy.
Get him.
Yeah.
Get everybody.
Don't
Get
he
him.
have like information too?
His mission is to like just dissemble
To
the
like
world
expose
government.
the shit out of them. Yeah.
He is like,
Right.
he's like actually like succeeding. So they're like, please, anybody,
Exactly.
we'll pay you whatever. Like,
The theory is on Dragon is that he was a former Marine. That's why like he has intel. So then now that he left them,
I would believe it
because he has information that he knows about the Marines' plans.
I feel like we could do One Piece theories for like 2 days.
Oh yeah. There's a whole bunch. Yeah.
There's so many
That's why. You know what I'm saying?
You don't go down the rabbit hole,
Crazy.
Doc. You don't.
Yeah. It's amazing. There's so
Don't do
much
it to
lore.
yourself.
There's so
That's
much
good,
lore.
man. It's good. It's good.
It's a lot
Good
of lore.
conversation.
You know, and I will say this. I'll say this on again on stream. I'll admit it. Like I'm not the biggest One Piece guy. I'm definitely not. Right, 100% not. I do think the show is good. You know, but like I said, I don't think it was like the greatest anime of all time. I do think it's a good show. But having this conversation with people that like really take this into heart, who I know are have information that are unbiased, who like really go back and forth with things. I think that it's easier for people to see this show is still it's definitely good. It is a good show. If you can make it past a lot of the fluff in the beginning to where it starts to pick itself up, I think that One Piece is an enjoyable place to see the world and stuff like that kind of unfold in front of you, so forth, so on. But you gotta have to sit through it. So I'm just gonna say that to you. You're gonna have to sit through it. But if you sit through it, you'll get to some of the things that you want to see and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I always enjoy talking about One Piece after I've kind of seen everything, because then I get to pick out the points that make sense, and you get to see those things that really make the show interesting, right? You get to see the parts in the plot that make it dope and stuff like that, so forth, so on. Like the things that are, as Kadeem likes to say, the off-panel situations. There are a lot of off-panel things that happen in One Piece that always come to the forefront later on, or are so important even though that we never got a chance to see it happen. As opposed to like foreshadowing in characters. Like in other anime, if you see a D-Block character kind of show up, we'll eventually see something that he has to show us in like the next 20 episodes. Shanks showed up in Marineford some 400 episodes ago. We still haven't seen Shanks do anything. So therefore it kind of leaves you really waiting for what comes next. So I think that's kind of like the coolest thing about having conversations about One Piece itself, to me at least, because there's always something that's eye-opening that changes something that I might have thought. Like I said, I still don't think it's the greatest of all time, but I do think that it's definitely a good show, for sure. I can say that.